Hello and welcome to episode 16 of the Nose Bros. How do I know it's 16? I counted. Went to college, capable of this. I'd like to thank everybody who has watched, commented, signed up, subscribed, all that stuff. Thank you. And the people that were patient enough to wait in between videos. I mean, not wait like, by your phone waiting for a notification before you start doing things in your lives, but not delete the, oh, that's my washer. That's nice. Since I've got you here for a moment, I would say there's gonna be a little change to the format on the channel. Not a big change. Not a big change, but what I wanted to do is, in addition to doing brand reviews of boots and, now my weightlifting stuff, I wanted to make sure that I still focused on individual boots. And I realized I'd purchased some and just not used them enough to make it worth doing a review on. So what I'm going to do, starting with the next video, is going to be doing some first impression videos, followed up, 6-8 weeks later with a, kind of a how it started, how's it going segment. Like, and this is just right in front of me. So like, for example, this boot here, which I'm not doing a review on today, but since it's right in front of me, if you're familiar with the Thursday Explorer boot, this is a Thursday Explorer. Now, if you're familiar with Thursday Explorer, you'll realize that they come in green, olive suede, like a tan nubuck, and like a black suede nubuck. This is none of those. This is brown leather from the Lafarque Cannery in Leon, Mexico. Vibram outsole, Thursday, size 14. And you might be wondering, where the fuck did those come from? And I can tell you the magic of eBay. I found these, I was looking around for some boots, and someone had, I'm assuming, gotten these as a sample. I'm sure when they were when deciding what makeups to do for their boots, they send out a bunch of samples to people and get their feedback. And whoever had this didn't wear it, but also didn't like, or maybe they did like it and no one else did, the brown leather. So I'll be doing a review on these in my next video, because A, they're a unicorn, and B, they were only $135, so we're gonna see if they're kind of worth it. All right, so anyway, today what we're gonna be talking about is a Grant Stone boot. Now, I've talked about Grant Stone before, and I've mentioned that Grant Stone is one of my favorite boot brands because you get a lot of bang for your buck, a lot of things about them that are positive, and yes, again, I know they're made in China. And again, I don't have a problem with things being made overseas as long as we're not exploiting the workers. Like every time I look at my iPhone, I get a little sad because I know that someone launched themselves out of a window shortly after assembling part of this. So it makes me uncomfortable. But these boots are made in a factory full of craftsmen, and they're paid accordingly. So I guess they're paid well, which, as long as they're not being exploited, I'm going to keep supporting Grant Stone. So today I wanted to talk about a boot, one of their boots that's kind of, I think, underappreciated. So this is the Grant Stone Diesel boot. This is their flagship boot. This is the first boot they put out, and it is the kind of their, I wouldn't say their crown jewel, but like their go-to boot. And for a lot of reasons, it's very versatile. You can dress it up, dress it down. And this particular one, because of it's the waxed flesh, it's not really something you can dress up too much. But they have these in like a Horween Chrome Excel with a leather sole, not the day-night knockoff, but with a leather sole, and they're dressy enough. You can wear them to work if you have like a moderately casual, dressy job. There's that kind of in between. I don't know how people dress for work anymore. I do know that when I used to wear a suit to work, it was still pretty normal, but by the time I retired, no one was wearing them, and so it was very strange. Now, this is the Diesel. It's made on the Leo Last. The boot that is the underrated version of this is the Edward. It's also made on the Leo Last. Now, it's made on the Leo Last. Instead of having this external heel counter stitching here, it's smooth, right? Streamlined, dressier. Instead of having 4 eyelets and 3 speed hooks, it has 5 eyelets and 3 speed hooks, but the eyelets are much smaller. In fact, you can see right there, how much smaller they are. So they come with these shitty little laces that I replaced and put these leather ones in because I like lockdown. Now, things I found about it. The back, it has a double stitching here on either side. This just has the little up here and then that weird butt crack stitch, which I don't know exactly what it's called, so I'm going to keep calling it a butt crack stitch until someone corrects me and I stop sounding like a 9-year-old. These are the dressy version. Now, they're not dressy. These have kangaroo leather and a commando sole, so they're not dressy. Kangaroo leather cannot be dressy by its very nature. It is kind of, not wrinkly, but it's got a weird sort of texture to it. I like it, but I wouldn't wear it with a suit. But an Edward boot with Chrome Excel leather and a double leather sole, beautiful boot. You can wear it you could almost wear it with a suit. You could definitely wear it with nice slacks, chinos, whatever. So, what's the difference between these boots? Glad you asked. They're both made on the Leolast, and outside of the external heel counter stitching and the eyelets, they're almost the same boot. I mean, not withstanding the leather. I mean, if you use the same leather and everything on them, they're very similar. However, if you look, all right, let me get up here. The Edward is slightly more rounded. You can see it up towards the top. A little more rounded in the forefoot. Not much. I mean, not so much that you would notice it visually wearing it, but you'll notice it when you feel it. Additionally, if you look at the Diesel, the front has kind of that hawk slope right there. Meanwhile, the Edward, more rounded, all right? It's got more of a rounded end to it. So it's got a little bulbous area right there. Now, I don't know if that's exclusive to the kangaroo leather version. This is the only Edward I have. But I have 3 of these, and they're all kind of very similar with that. What I found is in this markup, oh, by the way, the kangaroo leather, it scuffs up very quickly. It doesn't buff out so well, I've noticed. But anyway, that, folks, was a seamless edit, I hope. My son called to let me know it's nice outside. And I've already been outside, so I knew that. But then he let me know there was going to be 35 tomorrow, which I didn't know, and then I died a little bit inside again. So the Edward boot, why I think it's a better boot than the Diesel, or at the very least, an underappreciated boot, it is that extra room in the forefoot that I like. I also think the lack of the external heel counter, for some reason, this heel counter locks my heel down much better than this. They're about the same width. Everything seems similar, but for some reason this just does a better job of preventing heel slip for me. It could just be the boot, it could be the leather, because it is kangaroo leather as opposed to regular, cows or bulls or whatever they use. I do hate the laces they give you with the Edward. They're crap. They're these skinny little laces that don't do shit. They don't tighten anything. It's almost like a garrote for your ankle. You just sort of wrap it around and hope you cut off circulation. I would say these are easier to walk around in all day. Now, part of that's the commando sole, but also that little extra space when my feet swell, and they do swell because I'm a big boy and I put a lot of abuse on my feet. When my feet swell, they're not as uncomfortable. I would show you a picture of my feet, but I don't want to lose viewers because of my feet. And even more, I don't want to gain viewers who want to see more pictures of my feet, because while I'm okay with everybody letting their freak flag fly and do whatever they want, I don't want anyone thinking about my feet ever. I don't even want to think about them. So anyway, yeah, so like I said, good comfort. Everything about these is a plus. I would recommend, next time you're looking at a Grant Stone boot and you're thinking you're getting a Diesel, maybe take a look at the Edward, and you might find that is a better fit for your needs. And that is it. There'll be another video in 2 days. Thank you very much. You have a good day.